Okay, we're gonna learn a few Rashis, 5 Rashis. The first one is the Dibur HaMaschal. I wrote on the side Dalet Hey, which is oops, which is Dibur HaMaschal. It stands for Dibur HaMaschal, which means the opening words. The opening words of the first Rashi that we're gonna do is Lefi she'ein derech b'nei Adam chulu, and this is quoting the Gemara. And Rashi quotes the Gemara. We have in our nice new Gemaras, it's in bold. What this means is because people, Lefi is because, Ein derech b'nei Adam, it's not the habit of man, chulu, which means etc. I wrote over there chulu. That's just an abbreviation, it means etc. and so on. And it's not the habit of men to concentrate where they're going. And this was a statement which was made by Rabbi Abba to Rav Ashi. He said that it was said in Marava. In the West, they said that in the name of Rav Ula or Rabbi Loi. And what is it saying? So Rashi now says, Amasnisin Mahader. It's returning to the Mishnah. Mahader means returning. It's returning to the Mishnah. Well, what's the Mishnah? Well, the Mishnah says that if someone is walking in Rosh Hashanah and he stumbles over the kad that was placed there, which wasn't supposed to be there, that he's pater. So, and it's saying because people don't look where they're going, they don't concentrate on the road. Deloi tema, you should not say ba'afela oy bekeren zavis, that this is referring to only a case where it was dark, which was Shmuel's answer, oy bekeren zavis, or Rabbi Yochanan's answer, that it was a corner. In other words, the Gemara before said, I'll just write over here, Shmuel said that our Mishnah was only in a case of ba'afela. When would you be pater? Was only if it was dark. And Rabbi Yochanan said that our Mishnah was only talking about a case where it was around the corner where you couldn't see it. But normally you would be chayiv. Karen Zavis. Normally you would be chayiv unless it's one of those two cases. So according to this new answer of the Gemara, Lefi she'ein derech b'nei Adam, it's not the way of people to look where they're going. Don't say that it's only in the case of dark or in a corner. Ella afilu ba'ira, rather even if it's in the light. Pater haniskal, the one who trips, is going to be pater for the breaking of the pitcher. Pater haniskal, you read together. The niskal is the one who trips. The niskal, the one who trips, is going to be exempt, even in the light. Ira means light. Even in the light, where he could look where he's going, he would still be pater. Ayu the kashalach, in this that you asked, iboyle liyune mezel, that you should look where you're going. Iyune is to analyze, umezel, and go. So for that we'll answer, ein derech b'nei adam l'spainin b'jachim. It's not the way of man to concentrate on the road. L'spainin means to concentrate. We had that before in the Gemara. B'jachim means on the road. Okay. That's basically just an explanation of what the Gemara is doing when it quotes when Rav Abba tells Rav Ashi people don't concentrate on the road. So we pointed out in class, and Eli asked the question that there is another answer that the Gemara gives, and that would be up here. Rav, he answered b'malei Rosh Hashanah. I'm just fitting it in over there. Malei Rosh Hashanah. It's probably Kula. Obvious. Where the entire Rosh Hashanah is full of barrels. And Rashi didn't say, don't say that it's only when it's totally filled. Rashi didn't say that. That was his question. That Rashi only gave us, he only negates 2 out of the 3. What about the third one? So Daniel gave us a possible answer, which seems to be logical. The reason is because Rav's case of b'mamale, which I wrote in over there, Mali Rosh Hashanah Kulachavas, where the entire Rosh Hashanah is filled with barrels, is not a case where a person made a mistake and was supposed to look where he was going. That's a case where he is actually allowed to go ahead and break it deliberately, to go ahead and break it. And we're not negating that. If it would be full, then he would be allowed to go and deliberately break it. We're just talking about where it was a mistake. That don't say where the only time there's a mistake he's going to be pater is if it's dark, or if it's a corner. No, I did that wrong. It's supposed to be above and then a yud. Don't say that it's only in a darker corner. Rather, even if it's in broad daylight, you're still going to be potter. In the case of Rav is a different story. That's not talking about a mistake. I think that's a good answer for the question, why it's only two of the cases and not the third. Okay, the next Rashi we did is V'chayev Shmuel. Just put a little star there to show that we did this, or we'll underline the Dibur Hamaschel again, Dibur Hamaschel, the opening words. Now, you take away that that period. Sometimes the Rashi can be continuous, that it goes through. V'chayev Shmuel es niskal l'shalem. And Shmuel made the niskal, the one who tripped, chayev to pay. L'shalem means to pay. To pay. Okay, that's an easy Rashi. Shmuel made the one that tripped. He made him obligated to pay. In the Gemara now says, the Gemara says that in Nahardoi there was a case where Shmuel made him chayev, and Rashi just explains chayev. What do you mean chayev? Chayev for what? He said, well, he tripped, so he had to pay for the damage, for the broken cod. The Gemara says bishleim Shmuel kishmaiti. It's good, or it's appropriate, Shmuel according to his teaching. So he said demuke Lemasnisen, that he established our Mishnah ba'afela, in the dark, when it was a case where it was dark and he couldn't see on the street. Afela means dark. Haba'ira, but in the light, chayev, he would be chayev. So bishlem shmuel, it's all good, kishmaiti, because that's why he said chayev, because he holds that in the light you're going to be chayev. However, Rava, why did he say chayev? Does he hold like Shmuel? So we said, just move this up a little bit. Karna da atzri. We said karna is a corner, and the atzri we said it was a press, an oil press. Now Rashi just explains that it was keren zavis, it was a corner. Hasmuchal beis abad, which is near, or next to, near a beis abad is a oil press. Abad abad actually is a beam. In the old oil presses, they would just have this beam that they would use, a heavy beam that would crush the olives. Now, why over there should the person who breaks it be chayev? The person who's walking, why should he be chayev? So the Gemara says the hoyel. Actually, in our Gemara it says the kivan, but it's the same thing. The hoyel u'b'shuska avdi. Since with permission they were doing it. Avad means to do. B'shuska avdi, they were doing it with permission. What does it mean with permission? He says, Shemin hagam hayakain, that was their custom. Kishahaisa beis abad malaya b'nei adam, when the beis abad was filled. Kishahaisa beis abad malaya b'nei adam was filled with people. There was only a certain amount of olives it could hold, so people would come in and press their olives. Not everyone owned an olive press. So hayu haboim, those that came, and where it was filled inside. So hayu those that came, they would leave their vessels, their containers, outside in the Rosh Hashanah. Umamtinim, and they would wait until they went out. So therefore, they had permission to leave it there. So the person that comes along really, in that case, has to look where he's going. And that's why Rava said chayev, even though Rava does not hold of Shmuel. He actually holds that you're always going to be potter unless it's a special case where they have permission. Now, we did say that even if you hold that you have permission, even if you hold that you're always potter, like we learned on the top, let's see if I can just drag this down. No, that doesn't work. Sorry. Let's just go back up to see the case where we're potter. The reason why we're potter is lefi shein derech b'nei adam, because people don't look where they're going. We did say that even according to that opinion, you would be chayev if it would be karna datri, if it would be a beis abad, if it would be an olive press. However, even in the olive press where you're chayev, there would still be an exception to that, and that would be if it's dark, or if it's keren zavis, or if it's b'mamali Rosh Hashanah. All of those cases you would be potter even by an olive press. That's an interesting thing that we mentioned in the last class. Okay.